Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tracy and I am back with another video with the Global Monthly Video Hop Group. We are Stampin' Up demonstrators from around the world. We get together every single month with a different theme, and this month's theme is a great one. It is gift giving, so who doesn't love to do a little bit of homemade gift giving? So the project that I have today, I'll show you in just a minute, but I just wanted to quickly say, don't forget to go over and check out everyone else's projects that they have. There are links to those projects in the description of this video. I also have a blog post with all the information on mine, and you can also purchase any of the products that I've used on today's video. Alright, so let me show you the project that I've used today. It is this gorgeous little treat box using the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper, as well as those tailor-made tag dies. So cute, love it. So let's get over to the craft table and we'll get started. This is such a great little gift idea, and the great thing is you can make them bigger or smaller depending on what you're wanting to gift out to someone. So I'm using the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper to decorate, and I also have the Heartfelt Wishes stamp set from the Stampin' Up mini catalogue. This is a great sentiment stamp set, great for the holidays, and I love the descriptive writing. Also using the Tailor tag dies from the set as well. And these are great for both cards and projects using tags. So this is the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper. It is a specialty paper. One side is foiled in silver. It is gorgeous. The other side has beautiful patterns. I'm also using the layering circle dies for the base of our treat box, and also the Simply Elegant trim. Perfect for our Christmas projects. The gold and silver always looks so good. So I've started off with a piece of A4 Mossy Meadow cardstock, and I've cut that down to 11 inches by 5 1/4, and that strip on the side there that I just showed you, keep that because we're actually being able to use our circle die to cut the base for that little treat holder. Okay, so we're starting off with Mossy Meadow 11 by 5 1/4. We're going to score it on the 5 1/4 side at 1 3/4 and 3 1/2. Now don't worry about all these measurements. There is a blog post with all the measurements over there on the blog post, and that is in the description of this video, so go over and check that out if you would like to create this. On the 11-inch side, we're also going to do some score lines as well. It's at 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, 7, 8 3/4 and 10 1/2, and that's going to be all our side lines for our box. We're also going to do marks, which are going to create our top of our box. So I'm going to bring that back through once we do our last score line here, and we're going to mark it at the top of our piece here, halfway between each of those little squares. So those marks that we're going to make are at 7/8 of an inch, 2 5/8 of an inch, 4 3/8, 6, 7 7/8, and 9 5/8. So they're all our little tick marks that we're going to use to do some score lines to create our beautiful lid of our box here. Now I've actually picked the Mossy Meadow cardstock from our Designer Series paper, but because I've used that Designer Series paper, you could have used Mint Macaron, Blushing Bride. They're the other colours in that design, but there's plenty of different DSPs that you could use and choose different box backgrounds as well. Alright, so we have our little marks made. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in a stylus, and you could use your Take My Pick tool that has a stylus on it as well. I'm using my old one that I've had for a long time. It works perfect. And I'm going to score from that first score line to the tick mark, and then from that tick mark down to the next score line. So you'll see as I go. I think I'm going to fasten this up just to make it a little bit easier as well, so we're not sitting here bored. So as we create those triangles on each of those. Now all we're doing is segregating each square in half. But it's going to make the box look super cute. Now I do make a bit of a boo-boo in this box, and I'll show you as I come to it. It doesn't matter. It still looks really good, but it's something that you can be aware of. So there we have all our score lines here. Okay, we're going to do some folding and scoring. I'm bringing my bone folder in and scoring on all those side score lines. Then we can do our top and bottom. Those ones that we've just scored with the stylus, we're going to leave for now. Alright, so we can attach your DSP now, and I highly recommend on this project to do it now. Just makes it a little bit easier than popping it together once the box is together. Sometimes when I'm making boxes and bags, attaching the DSP before putting it together, especially if the DSP is directional, I don't really recommend, because I will always stuff it at that stage if I can, if it's a directional piece. But because this can be placed anyway, it really doesn't matter. So definitely pop it down now. On our side little score line tab there, so you've got that little tiny strip. What we're going to do is we're going to take that top and bottom piece off, and that one next to the DSP, that is our little tab that's going to put the box together. So we're just going to take the top and bottom off and miter cut on our little tab. So just a little bit. Easy. Then in the bottom of our box, we're going to cut up on each of those score lines, and you're going to want to be really careful where you're cutting. You want to make sure that it's right on that line, otherwise the bottom of the box will look a bit funny. But I suppose because we're covering it over with that circle, it probably wouldn't matter too much. Now you can purchase any of the products that I've used on today's video in my online store if you live in Australia, and if you're after any Stampin' Up supplies, you can purchase them in my online store as well. I always have a customer appreciation card and usually a gift as well, so I love to look after my customers, and I would love to welcome you to my customer group over on Facebook. So we're just bringing the bone folder in, and I'm just folding back on all those little stylus score lines that we've created. This helps the box to go together if you do it now rather than trying to pop them together once the box is together. Alright, so let's bring it in. I'm just pinching them in to see how the box goes together. Easy. On that little tab, we're going to add some tear and tape to secure our box together. Tear and tape is the best tape to use for boxes and bags as such. It is a really strong adhesive that is not going to let anything fall apart for you. You are going to have to be careful when you're putting it together though that you're in the right position straight up, because if you have to pull it apart, you're usually going to break stuff. So we're just lining those two edges up and pressing down. Super easy. Cute, I love it. Alright, so I'm just placing down all my tabs to make sure I get it in the shape that I'm after. Now, here I make another boo-boo. So now I realize, well, I've got to put some sort of adhesive down to keep it in place. So what I do is I fold all the tabs back and add tear and tape to the inside of those tabs, which is great. Do that, but leave one blank, because one of those, that first one that you pop down, is actually going to be your bottom of your box, so you don't want tear and tape down on one of those tabs. I'll put them all down and then I take one off, so it's okay, I do fix it. But yeah, you can learn from my mistakes, which is even better. So I'm just taking the backings off all those tear and tapes. I do take off one of those strips as well. Otherwise you're going to have a box that's got adhesive on the inside, so whatever you stick inside is going to be glued down as well. Luckily, as I take this off, it doesn't wreck the cardstock too much, so it just makes it a little bit fuzzy, which I'm fine with. You're not really looking inside the box anyway. And what we're going to do to attach this together is we're going to do opposite sides. So as I place one down, I'm going to do the opposite side, trying to keep that really good shape to make it easy. There we go. Perfect. Looks good. So I've just turned it over, pushed down to keep that shape. Now the layering circle dies that I'm using is the second largest in the straight circles, and it fits perfectly in that leftover piece from our A4 Mossy Meadow cardstock. So I'm just die cut that out with the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and I'm using liquid adhesive to pop down on the bottom of the box. And that just ties it in, makes it a lot neater. You don't have to do it if you don't want, but I think having it nice and neat is really nice. Okay, so we have one tab here that is our sides that are not glued together. That is going to be one of your tabs that you're going to bring a hole punch in and just punch a hole in the middle of that one. Now what you're also going to want to do is do the very opposite side of that one that you've just punched. Now here's where my boo-boo comes in. I had so many people coming in and out while I was filming this. My family asked so many questions. They all wanted to have a little bit of a chat while I was doing this, and I was very distracted. So here I come in, yep, I've done the opposite, and then I'm going to start going around doing every single one. You don't have to. You're not running any trim through that at all, so just do the two opposites. So the one that are not glued together and then the opposite of that one, that's all you need. Now I will say, once I put my elegant trim through, the silver elegant trim, it doesn't matter, you put it all together and it comes together beautifully, and it just gives it a little bit extra detail that they've got holes in it. But certainly, if learn from my mistake again, and don't put holes in all of them. So before we do that, we want to get our tags ready to go. I have a piece of Mint Macaron and Blushing Bride. These are the colors I've pulled from that designer series paper, and we're going to use one of these tags, and I've used the smallest square one and also the little hole punch area. So I've just run that through the cut and emboss machine. Super cute, these colours together. I love how Stampin' Up put colours together. Mossy Meadow, Mint Macaron, Blushing Bride, perfect for Christmas. So I've used the sentiment, what did I go with? Can't even remember now. Something about a wondrous season, maybe? This wondrous season? And it fits perfectly on that smallest tag there. We're going to heat emboss because we're using that silver thread. I wanted to tie it all together. You could just stamp with Mossy Meadow ink if you'd like. That would also bring that all together. But I tell you what, heat embossing with silver really does make this project stand out. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to stamp that down. I'm grabbing out my silver embossing powder. These come from the Metallics embossing powders. So if you haven't heat embossed before, this is my favorite technique. I absolutely love it. It's a real wow factor. So easy to do. You do need a heat tool. You can't use a toaster or a hairdryer or anything like that. You are going to need a heat tool. And Stampin' Up sell these, so it's super easy. But this is one technique that is always a wow for me. So I'm just getting rid of any stray powders that are there, and I'm going to bring my heat tool in. You're going to heat it up, and I like to sort of heat it up a little bit before I put it down on my project. Obviously the heat will warp any cardstock or DSP after a while, so you want to heat your heat tool up so it's nice and warm, then place it down. It just takes less once it's heated up to melt that powder. Once it melts and becomes really shiny, it's all right to go. So really easy. I'm going to place that Blushing Bride little hole piece there down onto the tag, and then we're right to start putting that gold or silver thread through our little treat holder. This is such a cute little idea. Lots of different things you could put inside it. So I've actually popped the tag through first, and then I'm just layering it through those two opposite holes. So we're going to tie it in a bow. And the way I've worked it is so, I think I left it in. Let me show you. So I just tied it, and that meant that our tag was up close to the top of the box, which looked good. It was fine. But then what I really wanted to do was have it so it was in one of the loops, which just makes it a lot easier. So here we have, I'm going to bring that down. See how it's nice and close to the top? So if you like that look, that looks really good. But I also did it so it was part of the loop, which, please yourself which way you would like to go. So there is plenty of different ideas for gift ideas in these this group. I have all my demonstrators that are joining in this month, their videos are linked in the description of this video, so please go over, watch their video, leave a like and a comment. It's always nice to receive a little bit of feedback, and they really do appreciate it just as much as I do. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, you could also do that if you've enjoyed this video. Each month we have a different theme, and it's always so nice to see what everyone comes up with. So I really hope that you're enjoying the global monthly video hop each month. It's something that you can join in each month with us. So super cute project. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again next month. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this little treat holder. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you left me a comment. If you haven't hit subscribe, you could do that as well. Now, all the links to the other demonstrators' videos are in the description of this video. Please go over and check those out. Leave a lovely comment. They always appreciate any love that you give them. I'll be back with another video really soon, so come back and join me for that. Until then, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.